there was that one time that he got stuck in the sand during that, significantly important mission, and then showed up
Yeah,
at hour 3 of the game.
he's in the sand right now.
Yeah, he's in the sand.
Sandman returns.
But I think that it's important to perhaps pick back up. And let me know when Devin's back, by the way, so that I can unmute him. It is important, I think, to pick back up similarly to where we left off.
Man, Devin, you're having a rough time.
I know, man. Jeez, bro.
What happened?
The gas they had no gas. He's seeking greener pastures.
Okay. Okay, good.
Taking my dog and my role-playing game with me.
3 minutes.
Okay, fantastic. So
I'm on a different side of the country, and I got here just fine.
It's a good point. It's a good point he makes. So moving right along into where we left off. We left off in a position where Matt or Oscar, you were just explaining to everyone what happened. They were explaining to you what happened, and by everyone I mean Dr. Fisher and Fortune.
Yeah.
Gogo was not president.
We were all at a restaurant, or did we meet up with them all after that?
I think you all met at like a picnic area or like a park, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah. We went, and Oha and Oscar went and stuffed themselves stupid, and then they like passed out in a park and told the others where to meet them.
Exactly.
Yes, that's what happened.
And so from there we get what we just heard, right? We get the breakdown of what happened, etc., with all of the cool details. And I think that as the group of you begins to head back to the ship, Gogo, we see you're standing at the bottom of the boarding ramp, and Fizz is there as well, and he's kind of like, he's got his pack over his shoulder, and he's like got all of his stuff packed up because he needs to leave. He can't wait. He was already pushing his time limit as it was being here, and so he doesn't have time to wait. He's got to go get in line, because remember, there's also a shorter line to get off planet, because of the way that Tusar works, where there's this freak weather which sucks gravitational waves all in different wonky directions, and it's very unsafe to travel otherwise. And so even just being 20 minutes an hour earlier than someone else can mean that you get out today rather than tomorrow. So what does Gogo's goodbye look like? Because that's a significant kind of talking point for Gogo in particular.
I mean, Gogo's about the worst with goodbyes ever.
Right.
Because she has serious abandonment issues.
Exactly.
From, like, I don't know, literally everyone in her life. So she's doing the, like, trying to have a brave face kind of thing. And I think that, prior to this exact moment, I think that the two of them are kind of like, this isn't a goodbye,
Yeah.
This is just a, like, I know you have to kind of go back to work thing.
Yeah, to war. I have to go back to war. Yep.
Fine.
Rub salt in it, why don't you?
I know, right? But it's extremely bittersweet. Like, she knows that he's gonna go and help and hopefully freaking ruin the Barba bastards, but she's like holding back some serious tears and is trying not to, like, completely lose it at the moment.
Yeah, and Fizz, as we know, is not stupid,
No,
and is, having spent so much time in close proximity for the past 2 weeks, he is, like, acutely aware of that, and he is appropriately comforting, because he understands kind of what that means. Like having the abandonment issues, he's got some of his own from his past, right? But he understands kind of how to maneuver through that, as if it were an asteroid field, and
God.
and I think that there is obviously it's a very kind of hard, stomach in your throat goodbye. But when the two of you do break apart, he does the thing where he turns to leave and then he like stops, and he like turns around and he does because I mean he's a good old country boy, right? And he turns around and he says, "Now you take care of yourself, miss." And he like then walks off into the midday sun, because it's not sunrise or sunset currently, to get on his little ship and take off.
Yeah, Gogo like does her darndest to not just start sobbing and just watches him go and takes a really big deep breath and just turns around. It's like, great. Back to where I was before.
Yeah. And so you head in and, at some point you probably progress to your room. And you notice it's probably like the first time, because you've been kind of swept up in things. Like, your room's clean. It's not like disorganized chaos that it normally is. Like, you notice the ship has this weird like feeling about it. Like, it's kind of nice, but also kind of sad, because you're emanating sadness now. And when you get into your room, you notice that on your desk, there's like an actual paper envelope that you didn't notice before. And you go over and you open it up, and as you open it up, something falls out into your hands, and you see that it's his dog tags that he's left for you. And the note is the corniest love letter you've ever seen written, and it's not even worth mentioning.
Aww, bae.
But it is obviously endearing to you, and I would assume that that's probably like what snaps you.
Yeah, no. Oh man. I think that she takes it and like she's holding the dog tags in her hand, and I actually imagine that is Chan there?
He is, yes. He's like probably standing off in kind of a corner, like maybe he's brought like a box, or like he's shifting something in the closet, or yeah, he's there as always, because Chan.
Yeah, I think that to any observer, Gogo looks frantic and totally different, and I think she just like runs out of the room, and she's like just like beelining it for the exit of the ship.
Yeah, and so you leap off of the ramp before it even descends fully, and I assume you head off in the direction of his ship, right?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. So taking back what I said earlier, it's probably like he's in the cockpit, because again, it's like a small like 2-seater fighter. You see like the cockpit, like the hatch descending, and I assume you like shout or something.
Oh yeah, she's like screaming at the top of her lungs.
Yeah, and he like, you see him, it like closes all the way and then like slowly begins to open again. And you see him, he's like looking out, like looking around, like, what was that? And then he sees you. And what do you do?
She runs up to him and like nearly bowls him over by how hard she hugs him, and she's just like sobbing.
Yeah.
And she's like kind of incoherent, but basically the gist of it is, we're going with you.
Yeah, like you want to go ride with him?
Oscar's ears are burning.
she's like, yeah, so like I assume he does the like hold her back at arm's length and is like, I'm sorry, what? Like, can
Yeah,
you be a little more specific?
yeah. He's probably like, I'm I'm sorry. I don't quite understand.
And she's like, I can't, I'm going with you. We're gonna help. The whole crew, we're all gonna go.
Yeah, and I think that you see he smiles like a big cheesy smile, um, and I think you see something strange. He kind of like pulls you in closer, and he says, "Now, you and I both know that's not the greatest of ideas."
Because I've never been known to make great choices anyway. So this is the one that I'm making.
Well, that's mighty nice of you, but this this battle not something you have to get you and yours tied up in. I know you might be worried, but I promise I'll be fine. Ain't no match for me out there.
I mean, that I believe, but Westman, they have to have some use for us. I mean, we have some serious skills. I'm sure we could help it. And she's like clearly just frantic, like kind of come up with excuses to go.
Yeah. And he's like, all right. I understand, and trust me, the West Wind, they would be mighty glad to have someone of your skill on the side, but these are things that gotta be done right. If it's something you want to do, I could put a good word in, but you understand, I am beholden by the rules in this matter. I can't bring a civilian with me. It just wouldn't be right.
No, I understand. I don't want you to break the rules. And she's like clearly like, yeah, of course this is stupid, but she's like, here, why don't we do this? If you put in a good word for us, say that if there's anything really important that needs doing, I'm sure they could use a transport. Please, like just let me know. Okay?
Of course. And I'm just going one place away. They ain't sent me nowhere yet. You could always just stop by when y'all leave. I just gotta check in. I don't want to get that AWOL on my record.
Yeah, but one place away is a word. She just kind of like does like punch him on the shoulder kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, and like he doesn't move because he's a brick
Yeah.
shit house. Yeah.
Obviously. And she goes, no, I know. You've been talking a lot about what's going on. And to be honest, I really do think we should help. And she kind of like starts saying, like what what they did to the ton, that's awful. I mean, what's to stop them from doing that to any of us? We're not doing anything else. Just like gestures to the rest of the
Yeah.
ship. Like we literally
Yeah.
aren't doing anything else. We
We
can
ain't doing shit.
yeah.
And I think you notice like he's got his hands like on your arms, right? And he kind of squeezes maybe like a little bit too hard. And you can see his face has kind of gone like kind of stone gray. And he relaxes shortly after you realize that, and he's like, I do agree, and I'm gonna make those bastards pay. And it makes me happy that you feel the same. I don't know what I would do if you didn't. It might be a conflict, but I'm glad that we see that we're together on this, and maybe we can be together more. The quicker we get this done, I don't know.
Yeah, about halfway through that, I don't know. She just like kisses him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's maybe we zoom out on that. Like he's surprised, and then obviously leans in for it. And I think we see Oscar, you and the rest of the group, you arrive back at the ship, and like the boarding ramps down, and like no one's on board.
Chan's like looking out the thing like
Uh,
Well, yeah, you probably don't even see Chan at first, right? Like Chan's probably off doing something in the ship. Just like the boarding ramp's down, like you go up, there's nobody in the cargo bay, there's nobody in the cockpit. Like you start sweeping the ship and just nobody's there.
And we're all coming back from the
Food comas, yes.
okay, so it's the four of us. Oh,
Yeah.
myself. Okay.
Dr. Fisher and
Yeah, I think Oscar would go find Chan first off because that
yeah.
would be, fairly unusual.
Yeah, so you haven't been on the ship and interacting, and
In a while.
you haven't been subjected to Chan's kind of newish behavior or regressed behavior as it was put, where Chan with
This
the
call
best
is
of them.
for 17 Pentoff.
What?
Maybe.
God, the one time I unmuted him. Say hi to Emmy for us.
You will reach your destination in 10 minutes.
Okay, recovered.
So Chan.
So Chan has regressed back into, and Oscar, it maybe gives you thoughts of back when Chan first got on the ship. God, he could sneak up on anybody. Like, he could become invisible basically when he wants to. And so like, you creep through the ship and like it's silent, and then eventually you find Chan like, maybe working on something in like working inside of a panel, but like even his work makes almost no noise. Like he's become a ghost almost. You probably only identify him because you see like a faint like dim like light from a glow bug, and like his boots are sticking out of the panel.
Huh. You say, Chan, where did Gogo head off to? The ship was just unlocked.
Oh, Oscar, it is good to see you. I'm glad that you have returned. Miss Miss Gogo has departed. I believe she went to see off Mr. Fizz.
Are you all right, Chan?
Yes, everything is well.
You're certain of that?
Yes, I would have no reason to lie.
I suppose you wouldn't. Well,
I apologize for leaving the ship unlocked. I should have seen to that when Miss Gogo left. I apologize. I will do better next time.
It's... Chan, it's no trouble. I have no doubt you could have handled anyone paying a visit.
It's a meta joke.
Joke?
Yeah. He just nods and he says, "Your confidence in me is nice. Thank you, Oscar."
Chan, I meant to ask you about something, actually.
Yes.
Relevant to my confidence in you.
Yes. What is it?
Oscar like goes to strike him. Like it's a pulled punch, but he just like goes to see what he does. He wants to see if Chan was trying not to weigh us down or if he actually picked anything up from when he was observing the training.
All right. I forgot he actually did observe the training.
He did, and he said he was satisfied. And Oscar wants to know what satisfied means.
Yeah. Well, let me do this. So, he doesn't dodge the blow. I think
Sure.
what happens is, he flinches a little bit, and then you maybe you were aiming at his gut or whatever. Like he flinches.
No. I think he probably like takes the hilt of, he takes the hilt of his sword and like puts it up to his, chin or something.
Oh,
Just
okay, yeah.
he's not trying to knock him down or anything.
Yeah, so I think that what you see here is he flinches because the sudden movement kind of catches him off guard. But the tool that was in his hand, you see his grip on it has like tightened and like it's ready to strike a blow if necessary, and then before it just loosens ever so slightly. Like you can hear, because again his grip is like iron. You can hear probably like the leather or rubber gripping around it kind of like squelch as it's being compressed very tightly, and that's probably what signals you to like there was something there. But and I think he kind of tilts his head to the side and he goes, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Chen, you wanted to train, didn't you?
Yeah, and I think that his eyes kind of fall to the ground a little bit, and he says, "Yes, that is something that would elevate my position, but may only do so if allowed."
You are allowed.
Oh, I'm sorry, Oscar, but you have no right to say that.
He stands there, and but he's lowering the his hilt and kind of relaxing, and he says, Chin, why would anyone need the right to tell you that?
Yeah, and I think his answer is simple. It's just because that is the way of things. I have accepted that other cultures don't follow the rules that I do, but they are all that I know. And to lose them would be to lose. And he reaches for his compad, and you see him scroll through it a bit, and he goes, "Part of myself" is a phrase that was used. I believe this is the correct usage.
Yeah, Oscar, he says, Chen, everyone develops. Part of growing is whittling away what you don't need. Giving up pieces that are of no use to you any longer. This is exactly one of those things that you're free to discard now.
Yeah, and I think that you realize that perhaps you've laid a concept upon him that is far too large for him to comprehend at this time.
Yeah.
Because
regardless,
he looks and he goes,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, I understand." And you're pretty sure that he doesn't understand.
Uh-huh. He says, Chan, beside the point.
Hi, puppy.
There's a dog. He says, we needn't discuss that in any more depth now, Chan, but I seem to remember Gogo giving you her blessing to do this.
Yeah, and I think he kind of like he looks at you and he says, "Yes, but there is a different hierarchy now. It is no longer only Gogo's decision. There are others that I
Oscar,
must protect now. Serve."
would you not be better suited to protect them if you sought your own avenues of advancement?
They wish that to be my place.
He shakes his head a little.
You feel like you're missing a crucial
'Cause
piece
he-
of information here.
Yeah, he because this is very unlike even the most recent conversation that Oscar had with Chan. So I think he he's a little he's disappointed. I think Oscar is genuinely disappointed that he's backpedaling, like he's making negative progress.
Right.
And he says, Chin, we'll discuss this again.
I would very much like to. Thank you, Oscar.
Please let me know if Chan, regardless of what you think anyone wishes of you, you can discuss these things with me. Is that clear?
Yeah, and I think he kind of like nods a little bit and he says, "Yes, if the purpose is or the need arises."
If the need arises.
Yeah, and I think he just kind of stares blankly at that. He took it to be an affirmation of what he said.
Okay. It's like, all right, Chan. I've clearly taken more of your time than I should have. And he goes about his way.
Yeah, and Chan kind of just like nods and crawls back into his hidey space. Begins doing his work. Or maybe feeding Stanley. That might have been what he was doing. Devin, how close? Soon? Soon TM?
I'm sorry?
Soon TM?
I'm at home and I am hooking up my computer.
Hooray! Okay. So I'll let you do that while we get Gogo back on the ship, and then perhaps start our meeting, so that we can get your undivided attention and input.
Okay, then I'll get off this Discord so I can get on the other Discord.
Okay, sounds good.
Adios.
Cool. See you.
Best new character, GPS man.
Yeah.
Arc 2.
Surprise, GPS
adding-
man. That was really funny.
Really, if I was really on my game, I would have made some sort of AI comment, like navigation AI.
Yeah, totally.
But I didn't have it.
So Gogo, about how long does it take you to return to the ship?
A bit of time.
Sure. A bit of time later. Gogo, you arrive back at the ship, and it's clear that everybody else has also arrived. Like, you can see that they've entered, and you can see, like, you know, their stuff is probably strewn in certain places of the ship, and you can maybe hear, like, kind of echoing through the metally hallways, their voices. So what's the first thing you do when you get back?
Gogo sends her first email convening a meeting ever.
Perfect. So
And
yeah,
it reads, meeting 30 minutes, be there or I drag you there. Go.
Oscar, on receiving this message, do you just simply do okay? You do the affirmation reply and arrive 30 minutes later?
I don't know if he even typically replies, but he goes about his business for a half hour.
Yeah. Do you include Oha and Chan in that meeting, Gogo?
I mean, yeah, I think because it's way too hard to just type in specific names. I think she just like
Do you just reply to the last meeting request?
yeah, exactly. So she has like the list of all the old meeting
There's
requests.
no idea who she's actually emailing.
Yeah,
But
100%.
it's the same train that's been.
Yeah, she's like, sure. She like clicks that one and just like replies all, and then just has. So she's not even actually sure who's getting this message, but
Yeah,
it's
so
fine. It doesn't actually matter.
definitely everybody gets it then.
Yeah, that's fine. It's cool.
So Oscar, you kind of within the realm of what needed to happen anyway, so I assume that you're just okay with that. And
Yeah.
And Dr. Fisher sends back, I think, just to you, Gogo, just a single question mark.
Gogo just goes in 2 separate emails or messages. Be there.
Yeah, and I think his reply is like, "Is something wrong? Are you feeling certain effects? Do I need to bring my medical kit?"
No response.
Okay, yeah. So Dr. Fisher is like again doing the frantic Fisher in the med bay, where he's like prepping for surgery and doing what he does best. And
I feel like Gogo just thinks that's funny now, and so she just uses that as
yeah. Well, I also just get to make fun of him because he's sleeping. So
yeah, exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's got like the full doctor's bag and just everything ready to go when it comes to being prepared for the meeting. Oha is probably with you, Oscar, and kind of like looks at you and looks at the message, and she goes, "This seems important."
Yeah, I'm sure that they have been going over, details and such for. They probably have a lot to talk about, so she would certainly be with him, and he'd say, "This is actually the first ever. I don't know that important covers it, but then again, who knows?"
Interesting. It seems we may have missed a lot during our, foray on the planet.
I suppose we'll find out. And he looks at his compad and he's like, in 28 minutes?
Yeah. So, for Devin's benefit, Gogo, can you tell Fortune the message he receives on his compad?
Oh man, I can't remember exactly what I said, but basically it was Gogo setting out her first ever all call for a meeting that basically just said conference room meeting, be there 30 minutes or I will drag you there. Go.
Fortune, how do you respond to that? Oh God. Did you plug in your microphone now?
Pop.
Hurts
I
so
think-
bad. Oh,
Is that Mo better?
that's Mo better. Yeah.
Okay, for whatever reason, my software decided that I did not have a mic in, and I'm like, but I do. It says, no, you don't.
Okay, let me turn you back down from 140 real quick.
Like real quick.
Say something again.
Hello.
Perfect. So did you hear the message you received from Gogo?
I did. Yeah, for whatever reason, the headphone wasn't working. The mic.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm okay. So I go
You're cutting in and out a little bit, or is it just me?
It's not you.
It's a little robot-y.
Well, it's weird because like the first syllable of each word you say is fine.
This is just the title for this session is Devin's Very Hard Evening.
Okay, I'm going to.
Oh wait, no, it's fine now. It's fine now. Just talk loudly the whole time.
Let's just power through it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine. So your response? Do you respond at all?
Probably not. I just go to a meeting, probably a little concerned about a meeting being called by Gogo, but I will attend.
Yeah. Okay. So 30 minutes later, Gogo, are you the first one there? Are you in there, like just waiting on people?
Yeah, I'm actually in there, and Chan's probably sitting immediately to my right, like ready to take notes.
Oh yeah, no, he's got his he's got his data slab out, and he's ready to take the minutes.
I forgot that was his official task now.
No, it legitimately is.
Yeah, Oscar and presumably Oha show up.
Yeah.
Right on time.
Yeah.
He has a pot of coffee per usual.
Yeah, and Dr. Fisher is probably there a little bit early, and probably like you see he's got like his bag on the table, like his med kit bag on the table, and is kind of like looking around like I don't know what this is about.
Expecting injuries, Dr. Fisher?
To be fair, you did not give me a whole lot of.
Keep going.
You did not give me a whole lot of information.
She kind of giggles to herself, and she's just like, yeah, mm-hmm. It's
I
okay,
didn't
Dr.
rule
Phil.
out injuries
It's okay.
either.
Yeah, and so he just kind of like slides the bag off the table and sets it next to him. So with everybody in attendance,
yeah,
everybody kind of looks like awkwardly to you. Gogo?
No way. Oscar asks straight up, like, so what is this about, Gogo?
She's like, well, I don't really know how to run these, but I just felt like, it was time for me to call. Okay, so here's the game plan, guys. I have an idea. It seems like we really weren't doing a whole lot, and there's somebody, well, a whole group of people. Somebody could use our help.
We weren't doing a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, like, we really didn't have any jobs, and like you were off on planet doing God knows what, and like Chan and I were just kind of hanging out, and Fizz was yeah, you guys weren't really doing a whole lot.
Oscar just laughs and he says, we may not have been doing anything that got us paid, but we have been busy. What is it you're suggesting exactly?
What are your all thoughts about going to war?
I think Dr. Fisher like chokes on tea, like you what, mate?
Against who?
Depending on the reasons, I have no problem.
See, no, that's
Actually,
the spirit.
I don't even need reasons. What's we going to war?
War is profitable, to be fair.
Absolutely. And it's probably where Fortune's most comfortable.
True.
So he's okay with just kind of going to.
Yeah, so I guess Gogo continues to elaborate. She's like, well, as you are all well aware, Westwind and Barba having a bit of an issue, yeah?
A bit of an issue. That's an issue.
That's one way to put it, I guess.
Gogo just barrels on. She's like, well, Fizz was mentioning quite a lot about what the Westwind's got planned, and it seems like they could probably use some help with that. In fact, someone of our particular, and she's clearly embellishing our importance here, skills could really help them out. I mean, we could probably potentially get paid quite a bit for doing it too, but I really feel like we should just, and she's just going to keep going until somebody stops her.
Yeah. Oscar would hold up his hand after a fashion and say, in what capacity are we to help against Barba?
Well, I mean, I certainly don't think you should put us on the front lines. That's not what I intend, but Fizz is going to get us into contact with some of the higher ups. Maybe there's some important missions we could do on the side. Maybe some transport. Maybe they need to get some important things to certain places. Maybe on the down low. I don't mean that we actually fight. I was kind of joking before when I said go to war, but anything that we could do to help, I feel like they would take us up on it. Maybe
Fortune
getting
probably
some. Yeah, go ahead.
You said not actually go to war. Fortune probably like, oh.
You're like, your rifle's like being put together and you're like, oh. And just like sliding it back in the case.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, Fortune. It might come to that. She's just kind of like.
Are they willing to outfit our frigate to suit that cause?
I mean, I haven't gotten quite that far, but maybe.
How, Gogo? How far is it precisely that you've gotten?
I mean, I called a meeting.
That's about what I thought.
Yeah, and so like she sees that you're like
So-
hesitating a bit, and I think so she kind of says like, listen, you saw what they did to the Tan. I mean, they could do that to Raimondi, and she looks at you. They could do that to Yurimida, and she looks at Dr. Fisher, and then she looks at probably Chan, and she's like, no, you know what, that planet I might let them blow up. You know what, that's not the point.
So Oscar, with that, he's like half out of his chair, and he says, I am acutely aware of the risk to my homeworld. However, what you're currently suggesting appears to have little basis in reality. If there is a way, a real way, that we can contribute to this, you do not have to sell me. However, currently, it sounds like a pilot has told you he may put you in touch with, and he does the air quotes, somebody.
Oscar, I think Oha stomps on your foot. Like, doing the under the table kick you. Right, like right at the last part of that sentence.
He jumps a little, and he looks at her, and he says, he does the shrug, like, what the
Yeah. And she gives you like the be quiet pheromone, like just kind of sprays out a little, like that was like too far. And she probably speaks up and she says, I think this is good. I think we can work with this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we already have something that may be helpful, at least in our list of things to do we not?
If you're referring to the pre-tech energy container or whatever this happens to be, potentially.
Yes, wasn't that the entire goal of that mission? To help or at least learn about this. It seems like if there is no direct, well, there might be direct fighting. She kind of like looks at you, Fortune, and kind of like gives you a wink. And
Ye-
she says, "It seems like we've already been set upon this path. Now, as far as compensation goes, that's something that can be worked out between ones who deal in that sort of thing, but it seems as though our path has been aligned for us."
Says, yes, you would be happy to have us use that in a way other than the cause would wish.
Yeah, and I think she just smiles. Like, that's it. You don't get a response. It's just,
Yeah. And he's not being super accusatory. Like
yeah.
they've had that conversation.
Yeah.
He's trying to make some light of it.
I think you get, like, the pheromones that she puts out are like well, aren't you just a smart cookie?
Yes.
It's very
It's
very
a-
complex pheromones coming
it's a
out.
I was
very-
gonna say that's an
uh,
extremely complex pheromone.
It's a real interplay of
It's a blend, really, of several other.
Yeah.
so yeah, that stays at that.
Yeah, so I think Gogo just nodding and like agreeing with her, being well, great. It certainly sounds like it's decided then.
But Go, just let us know when you get more word from somebody about anything legit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It should be, no time at all. I'm certain Fizz, when he puts his mind to it, he will get it. Yeah, I'll let you know.
Oh, okay. Bye.
And Oscar again, hands up again, says, Fortune, we
Yep.
got paid recently, didn't we?
I think to date, I still didn't tell you how much that was.
I don't think we've add a character. I don't think
Yeah,
we've.
I don't think.
I haven't touched my credits in like 2 months,
Yeah.
Let me look at
other than in the negative to buy things. So
Yeah, I definitely don't think that unless
Pretty
you
big
did
freight
it when
base,
I wasn't
that's what
here.
want. Yeah, so
Freddie McPoverty Mobile.
delivering that gave you 10K. Delivering the liquor gave you 10K, which means that you're paid for next month already.
Yes.
With a little bit left over. Not much, obviously. But you also know that if money is the object, there's a lot of money coming off of this planet right now.
Yeah.
Filling up your hold with some stuff would not be particularly difficult.
Some
'Cause
red
remember-
5,
Yeah, the planet has been discovered to basically be made out of red 5.
which actually I want to pick up as much red 5 as we can. And then some.
Yeah, you could absolutely fill your cargo
But
holds
the
with
money, though.
it. What do you mean
When
the money,
do
though?
we get any?
Well, it depends on where the deliveries are to. Now, remember, everybody's trying to get their hands on this, so any manufacturing company is going to want this. In particular, Westwind is probably in very high demand because they are having to mass produce ships that
Sure,
are
so-
made out of red 5.
Easy way to get in with Westwood.
So okay. So
Of which you guys could
yeah.
just flash your credentials, and you're probably going to be more higher priority than someone who is just a regular freighter dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if we're gonna do that, then Oscar says, I have no loading the ship down with as much red 5 as we'll carry. Milk run back to Westwind, right?
Yes.
Well, you said the magic words, Matt. Now I have to think of something.
I was testing you.
Yeah, I didn't miss it. Well, let me pull up my calculator real quick.
Chan, take that down.
Yes.
Direct
Direct and that's
antagonism of the GM.
Are you ready? Chan raises his hand. He goes,
Chan, a milk run is
Yeah, exactly. I am unclear of
see-
the definition
you
of
see-
this milk run. I know what milk is, and I understand what run is. I do not understand what they mean together.
You see, Chan, in the Shadowrun universe, it's a commonly used term. to indicate that a mission is likely to be easy despite having potential for high payout.
Oh. Oh, okay. I think I understand.
Like, Chen, did you ever get sent to the store on Paphos on an errand? Say
Well,
to get milk.
I certainly had to carry things.
Yes. Don't worry about it.
Okay, yeah. And he moves on. So without and here's the deal, right? It will always, and I'm just throwing this out there as kind of a mechanical thing when it comes to like picking up jobs, because you guys will probably get into the realm in the future of being able to invest your own money into picking up jobs. So the two ways that it can be done is you can invest your own money into picking up a job and then try and find a better price somewhere else. Like, for example, where the demand is higher, by simply just like purchasing it here and then flying to somewhere else and trying to get more for your money. But the option is still available to you with certain jobs to basically take like a 10% finder's fee for just the like delivery portion of it. On the understanding that you're liable should you not deliver it for all of the money that the cargo is worth.
Got it.
So it is more lucrative to do it the other way, but it also requires you to have a significant investment.
So, like, how much would it cost to pick up a full ship of Red 5 here?
About 60,000 credits.
Okay, yeah. That'll be a one.
It'd be about 60,000 credits.
Okay.
And that's for the entire 60 tons of all of the materials that you possess, or all of the cargo hold that you possess. But obviously then you can sell that for like a 25% profit somewhere and make way more money than you could have just taking the flat 10%.
Sell it for 80,000 credit.
Right, exactly, and get
20
out of
grand.
it instead of 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm as a player, I'm down for seeing what we can manage. Like, even if we have to chip in to get a particularly large payout.
Yeah, like that's the thing you could do, and I don't want to get bogged down with the math, right? But if you chip in, essentially, think of it this way: for Red 5, it is currently, since you're at the source, it's the lowest price it possibly could be, which is going to be.
Right. You're just like scraping up some planet into the ship,
That's
and then
basically what's happening. It's 1,000 credits per unit, right? And a unit is 1 ton, so. That's why it's 60,000 to fill up your entire hold.
And you said we got 10 grand last.
So if you wanted to, you could literally just take that 10 grand, invest it immediately into Red 5.
Yeah, I think that
fly it to Westwind and then sell it for probably a much higher price because they are in very much demand of it right now.
What with the war effort and all, time is of the essence.
Right, yeah. They are not going to argue the price too much. Or I should say, they're going to be paying higher than you expect for it.
Yeah. And since we probably know that, or if people don't, I would explain that to them because I have
business sense.
I would also ask if anybody has any additional credits. If this is something that we want to do, is invest our own money, and if anybody has any additional credits. Yeah.
So Oscar says, I think it would be wise not to pay the ship in advance for next month and invest in this.
Correct.
Also, I can chip in 5 grand.
So that puts 15 go-go, like, donate to making more money.
Gogo hasn't checked her, like, account balance in I don't know how long, But sure, if she has any credits, she'll let
Shan,
you know.
How many credits
Yeah,
does
there you
Ogo
go.
have to deposit?
I have like 3K. I could give 3K.
That's
Dr. Fisher has 6K. I don't know if you want to spend his money for him.
Yep.
well, we'll say he wants to spend half.
Okay, so 3K for Dr. Fisher.
So that's a 21K, and
think
then I will put in.
We know.
4.
Listen, we know that Fisher's a gambling man.
That is true.
He would put in more
You're
than
not
half.
wrong.
We can retroactively subtract this.
Well, see, here's
He
the
says
deal,
it
right?
otherwise.
Like, if you do it, then you might just have to add the money back to him first before anyone else.
Yeah.
It's gonna be okay. Let's do it.
I am going to start a new account on the ship for Red 5 purchase.
Okay. Cool.
And right now we're at 25K. Because I
Yeah,
put
that's
in
it.
I put in 4K as well.
It's a solid purchase right there. I think that'll be awesome.
And that takes out our
Yeah. 25K at the current rate that Westwind are buying it at would net you more money than the just filling up your cargo hold for 10%. Because Westwind are buying it at a significantly higher rate right now.
Yep.
And
So we've got
it's good faith. So it works all the way around.
so do we need to actually do we want to role play this finding 25K worth of Red 5, or can that just be magically put in the ship?
No, that can be magically appear in the
Because
ship.
there's
Go-
literally
Go-Go
20
just,
ships
like-
around us that have that currently. So
Drives backwards really fast and scrapes the
Yeah,
ground.
she just like
I mean that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
drops the loading ramp and then
that sounds like the worst. way to
God, no,
load it.
I would not damage my ship in that way. But
Well, I was
sure.
saying,
Hey,
you might
just
not damage it now. You did just
just
get the new point.
make sure the landing gear is not down.
Yep. Okay. So
Step 1.
I will make a suggestion. Since there are so many ships coming and going, perhaps Fortune should try and negotiate beforehand for the best price to say, hey,
Yeah,
we
make
just
sure we're.
pooled all of this money.
Yeah, we
what
can
are you
give
going to
you
pay
cash
us for it?
now rather than
Right,
waiting
cash
for cash
right
upon
this moment.
delivery, kind of thing.
Right. So maybe we can do that on the front end and
Sure. I think that your disadvantage here is exactly what you thought your advantage was, though, Matt. Is there are so many ships that they're going to be like, let me, okay, next.
Well, maybe, I don't know, maybe Fortune would have the sense to say what you just did. Like,
Yeah, I'd probably let
nah.
them know, like, you don't have to wait for a contract to come through to get paid on this. We'll pay you cash now for whatever you can give us.
Right,
25.
and I think that there are a lot of people in that same mindset, though,
Oh,
because
okay.
this planet is a gold rush, right? Like,
So
credits are
perhaps we
flying
just-
back
But
and
possibly it is
we just have to
handsome
beat them.
Fortune who's doing the negotiation, and someone is just
So should I do
enamored
a charisma
with
business
this
check?
individual.
Sarah MacGyver's ears start burning somewhere.
Yeah.
She thinks to send a message to Fortune.
Okay. So if that's the case, then our best bet is to punch it out of here and beat the rush to get.
Yeah, there you go.
We're
yeah.
doing the Age of Empires thing or the Civ thing, right? Like
Rushing Stone, yeah, absolutely.
too much of it gets sold and it's not worth anything anymore because they get wise.
Yep.
Okay. So after some negotiating and getting
Yes.
it down to where you are now,
1,000.
yeah, 1,000 per. So you're gonna have 25 tons of it on board. We can go into and I'll pretend this is the previous hour. I want to fast forward to you guys making the jump to 0308. Go.
Yay.
Would you like to roll me a vehicle space, or I'm sorry, navigation check?
Sure can.
I almost called it astrogation as well because that's orders.
Oh God.
Well,
I've
that's
already-
also in this, but in combat only.
I've already compatted the shit out of them in orders, by the way. Called a com link in Star Wars, in case anyone was curious about the difference.
Yep.
It's a difficult habit to break.
Ooh, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be real hard. Hey,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so your suggestion of punching it, Oscar, is
problem.
exactly
Straight
what
to
happened.
plaid.
Yeah, straight to plaid. In
Literally.
fact, you're probably not even quite out of the gravity well yet. And then Gogo just slams it home, and you guys make it to 0308. And you pop into the system. Or we'll do the rolls that you guys all need to do, your research rolls, over the course of the downtime. And then we will we'll see what happens when we get there. But let's take our break right now.
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody text Will.
Yeah, everybody. Give me a will check. Let's take it a little bit shorter. Let's be back at 10 after, since we're a little slow starting today.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool. See you all in a little bit.
Adios.
Alright guys, we're going to take a little break. Be back for the second half in just a few minutes. Stay tuned.